gang, back with another Nightfall, arms dealer. This is a prestige solo run using the Dawnblade, Sunbracers, and 97% grenades, I would say. I use 3 supers, and a couple shots here and there, and a few sleepers. Just to kind of expedite along. This Nightfall is getting really murdered with speedrunners and, you know, running heavyweight. So I'm just kind of change it up, bring just a different entertainment video to the few that do enjoy this sort of thing. So anyways, this is a pretty aggressive run. And I shoot this fella just because I'm not going to stand there waiting for my grenade. So I'm running momentum, and if you're not too familiar with how Brawler, momentum, and the Sunbracers all work, well, you're going to get a good showcase of it. The Sunbracers, whenever you get a melee, you're going to get 5 seconds of pretty much unlimited grenades. So you usually can get 5 off, and usually you have 1 charged before you do a melee. So you get six grenades. So I threw 1, I do a melee, and now I'm going to throw probably 5 grenades. That's 2, 3, 4, and I just wasn't fast enough because I'm looking for targets. Anyways, I got my melee back. I got a grenade back. Alright, so now I'm going to fire up 5 more. So, when you're running momentum and you have Brawler as one of your modifiers, whenever you're running and you have momentum procced, your Brawler is going to supercharge. So you're going to get your melee back so much faster. And that's why I'm able to do what you're seeing. See, I got my melee back, I got my 5 seconds, and just throwing grenades at will. Like, super aggressive play. This is definitely not a technique for a farm. Don't think that this was easy, and it's not. It's not easy. I make it look like you're really elusive and tough, but this took me quite a few runs just to kind of figure things out, and you know, leaving a few enemies alive here and there, just get that melee and that grenade active for the, you know, next sequences and that sort of thing. Like meleeing that, dropping off some grenades in here, just little things like that. Got to work out the bugs. I have been doing this sort of thing with the Nightfalls. Now I'm just doing this just for the fun of it. I've been doing this grenading thing for the Nightfalls for the last 3 or 4 weeks with Brawler. So much fun. I've done a run with the Titan using Brawler, Syntheseps, and Tractor Cannon. And I like the Dawnblade, so I'm going to try and keep it up. Each week, try and get out a Brawler video for the Titan and the Warlock. I don't really care for the Hunter so much at all, period. I'm just not into them at all. If I was to get rid of a character, it'd be the Hunter. It just sucks to me. I hate running into them though in the Crucible, I know that. That's all you see. Okay, so this area coming up, it took a little bit just to figure out how to go about it, and there is a lot of enemies. At the end, you're going to see them all up on the top left platform, and it's just like, oh my god, it's just like an anthill. So I'm going to take this tank down, and do I have to? No, not at all. But is it fun? Absolutely. It's just too much fun to not. And the reason why it's easy to take this tank down is because those are red bar enemies that are kind of surrounded the tank. So I'm just kind of like keeping my distance and that sort of thing, getting them spread out, thinning out the herd a little bit. And then, so the next thing is you got to go up and do the interact up here. And then I'm going to super the tank eventually. So since that red bar landed right there, I was like, this is a good time for grenading the tank and I'll pop a super. He throws me, but you're in your Dawnblade. It's just like fantastic for mobility. Fly around, literally Superman. So now I have no grenade. Look at all the enemies up there and the mini boss is there. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I was gonna go bink, pump a sleeper right through his head, and then I just jump up and, well, terrible time with my space bar. I use keyboard and mouse on, yeah, and this is PC, obviously. You can tell me whipping around. So this run, like, could be so fast if you really wanted it to be. I don't plan on doing any more, but it could be if you really want it to get it down to like 4 minutes coming through that door. That's pretty much the standard time for people soloing this that are, you know, decent players that are grinding. For the tilt views, so this next part, I kind of leave a few things alive just so I can get that melee and just keep raining grenades. I hate those shielded guys. I'm sure everybody does. They're just so hard to kill. So here I thought the those little turrets were up already, so kind of had to do a tiny little adjustment. Now I kind of want to rain grenades on the yellow bar downstairs, but I'm out of my grenade energy. So I'm just getting my melee back. That's why I'm running around there. Come back in for another melee. Now I'm leaving the turrets alive just so I can have them just to melee. That's all. Being so mobile and running around the flamethrowers, they can't even keep up. So it doesn't matter if they're alive or not. Now you got to do a melee here, get it all charged up. And since there's enemies down on the floor, I don't need the flamethrowers. Now I don't have, I think, yeah, I sleeper this guy because I don't have a grenade, and near go down there now. Now, I could have just went up and meleeed one of them and took out the boss, but I kind of didn't think of it at the time. Now I went to go melee him and I don't have a melee, so it's my own fault. I had to readjust, run around here. See, I'm charging it now. I just kind of leave him alive, thinking that I'll use him just for backup in case I can't get these guys down with my grenade. And which took place. And here I'm thinking, oh, I got to do the interact when I already did it. Always thinking. Now this boss fight is a lot easier than I actually thought it would be. So the boss is, it's as long as you're running around, it's going to be no problem. It's just everything in between, especially that tank room. That tank room was kind of, you know, a tough chore. So now I'm just kind of getting primed up. Use the flamethrowers as a melee point. Just got to stay mobile. And I love the Icarus dash with the Dawnblade. I mostly use top tree, and it's just for the Icarus dash because I really like it. I know bottom tree is the best choice for the Dawnblade. So I hit him again. Now I know it's go time for the boss. So I'm just kind of raining down as much as I can. Now I got to get my melee charged. That guy that I was going to melee dies. And you can't melee those shielded guys. But, you know, they're full shield. But there's lots of these little red bars. Got to get rid of the boss. So I got to, first thing is first is get him to cover himself with that shield so I don't take sniper fire. And then just finish off everything else. I would say that the first thing I should be doing is trying to get that shielded guy down more than anything. Because they're always jumping around. Look at how far he goes. He's just like traveling all over the place. Now I'm throwing it at the ship. I don't know why. It's not even really it's not even a problem because you're moving around so much.
Let's disable that shield. We're sitting ducks out here.
Now I have no more grenades, but so I gotta find a red bar. There he is. I gotta find shielded guy. He's almost down. There, so now I'm just making sure the room is clear. Okay, we go grab the orb, and then we're just gonna have to juggle back and forth with the orb. And I see the ship is so low, so I must as well just waste my grenade, because there's going to be 6 enemies here to deal with. 3 are right here. 1's a yellow bar, so you got to hit the red first, and then you got to find the yellow. Now, my plan was to leave 1 guy alive, which thankfully I was able to. But there's also, and that guy didn't die. I thought for sure I was going to cook him with that grenade, but now I'm like, alright, I'm just going to sleeper him. I'm not going to wait. I probably could have just meleeed him. I don't know. So I just jam it in, and then here I go, and I don't know, I kind of flub up all my keyboard, my jumps and everything, and I don't know, I went to jump up there, and anyway, so I don't know, I didn't seem to have got my melee, so now I just kind of throwing grenades. And then pop my super just because I have it. And then when you're running top tree, you have the perk wherever you pop your super, you get your abilities back. So if you throw a grenade, do your super, you're going to have a grenade and any other ability that you expended back immediately. So you can go grenade, super, grenade with top tree only. So this part's like super easy, only because you get so many little enemies that you can melee and run around from. So I'm going to try and melee him before he gets a shield. That's it, I guess. Might as well throw it at the ship. Now what I should have done was left this fella alive, but it's hard to think of everything. I'm just being silly there. So we get the orb, and I'm not too sure like how far he is and what the phase will be, if it's like snipers immediately, but it would be nice just to get the snipers out right away once he goes down. Now, I didn't get the kill there, so now I'm kind of left to run around, charge my melee, pick up the orb so it doesn't go away. There, I got the melee. Throw a couple grenades over there. Get that. Now I almost landed in the hot pipes, but Icarus Dash. Icarus Dash saves lives. So I was just kind of shocked that everything went down so easy. Now I don't have a grenade. I don't have a super. So I'm just like, well, I'm not sure what stage he's at. So I was like, I'm going to put a sleeper in him just to get the snipers going. There. So take that fella out just so I can work the boss on this side. And then I'm going to move to the other side to melee the snipers over there. And I almost have my super. So I'm going to try and keep the other sniper alive. No, that boss, he's jumping around so much, so it's throwing a grenade on him. You know, a solar grenade only does its damage over time, so it's kind of tough to really cook him. The only time to really cook him is to press up on him, get him to his jump mechanic. But eventually we get him. So you just go back and forth. The boss is not really that dangerous. There. So that's how it's done, son. That is so much fun.
Nice job.
Yeah, so that's that. Not a recommended strat, but just for fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.